very, very cheap. Liberia used to be sweet Liberia. But not today. Everywhere we go, never be a rebel, criminals. Some people Liberians were not let them go. We were not let them go. Liberians were not let them go. We were not let them. The way today, we are divided. Mounting our friends, slaughtering our friends before we were not let them go. We were not let them go. Liberians were not let them go. We were not let them go. Liberians were not let them go. We were not let them. Liberians today in a very taking, suffering like this. No food to eat, no clothes to wear, no good place to sleep before they were not let them go. We were not let them go. Liberians were not let them go. We were not let them go. Liberians were not let them go. We were not let them. The way today, everything like this. The way today, everything looking like this. How come we have been order of the day before we were not let them go? We were not let them go. Liberians were not let them go. We were not let them go. Liberians were not let them go. We were not let them. Patricia, Peterman, Lopu. Excuse me, my sister, when me holiday? I don't know. I say, my brother, when me holiday? I don't know. Me, I know. Me, I know. Say, you don't know. Me, I know. I know when me holiday. I know when me holiday. Now, this is the one I know holiday. I know when me holiday. That trouble is in a me holiday. I know when me holiday. That is not the jealous of me holiday. I know when me holiday. That power below that me holiday. I know when me holiday. That whole way that me holiday. Me I know, say you don't know. Me I know when me holiday. That this is the word I got holiday. I know when me holiday. That power below that got holiday.
Let me welcome you this morning. You are seated. The chief is not here today. I have been seated in the control seat, the very hard one. This morning, we intend to look at the issues of the war crime code in our country, Liberia. As we be aware, a petition has been submitted to the Liberian Senate and also to the House of Representatives for them to see reason and let them pass the bill, let them make it into law, so that those that kill thousands of people in our country can be held accountable. So we have Honorable Fubi, the man who is behind the establishment of the war crime code in our country, Liberia. We thought a while to bring him, let him tell us why we should have a war crime code and economic crime code in our country. Stay tuned. We will also dive into other issues. What is happening between the vice presidents and the presidents of the Republic of Liberia? Someone said the vice president and that of the president, they have been in serious beef. From reliable source in our country, the vice president and the president have been in serious beef, and that is one of the reasons why she left the country without even informing the president of the Republic of Liberia. We have been telling the president to be very careful with the people that they call in our country the Taylor family. He needs to be very much careful because she did it to Edwin Melvin Snow. She did it to that of Bernard Urey. It is possible that she can also do it to the President of the Republic of Liberia. But this morning, we have Honorable Fubi, who will be giving us a play-by-play descriptions about why we should have war crime code in our country, an economic crime code. As we may be aware that there have been a lot of time, our country, Liberia, the coup, we as young people, we were born in violence. And people that kill in our country, so at the end result, people have seen violence as a way of solving problems in our country, Liberia. And so you saw the coup that came, the Kwankpa regime. You also saw the Rest Riot, where thousands of people were killed and no one went to court. You saw those putting men on the pole, killing innocent people. At the end result, Liberians were jubilating. They were jubilating because they said that the American Liberians have continued to remain in power. Then you had Taylor invasion. Hundreds and thousands of people were killed in our country. At the end result, Liberians were even jubilating, dancing. We were dancing. What time Taylor will come? We were jubilating, waiting for Taylor to come. But we were ignorantly making those remarks. Because people thought that that was the problem to the Liberian people. At the end, you saw how Doe was killed. Doe was set up and he was slaughtered. And let me just say this. All those that ever touched Doe during the execution, all those that ever touched him, none of them living up to today. None of them living up to today. All those soldiers that you saw touching Doe, the reason why Prince Johnson never touched him. Prince never. But today, after we went to an election, 97, we went to an election, peacefully elected Charles Taylor. Because we were born in violence and group of people in our country are seeing violence as a way of answering to the Liberian people problem. You had Thomas Yaya Nimble and Sekou Damate Kone that was heavily supported. Again, they brought World War I, World War II. Thousands of people were killed. Those that kill in our country, up to now as we speak, in fact, most of them that kill, they are in lucrative positions today. Most of them are in good positions, and at the end result, there's nothing that has been done. And so for some of us, there are two groups in our country. Others are saying, no, the war crime code is not timely. Others are saying, no, it is. We want it now. Now, other people are saying that if Prince Johnson and the rest of others go to court, that will be a security threat to our country. I say no to that. We Liberians, it is about time that we have the war crown code in our country. I'll take few music and we'll be right back.
Very, very cheap. Liberia used to be sweet Liberia. But not today. Everywhere we go, never be rebel, criminals. My people Liberia, we not let them go.
We ask you right now to invite your friends.
We were not let them.
Share the page. Join the discussion this morning on the Abraka Talk Show.
Start trying our friend.
One of the strongest and the more talk about talk shows in our country.
We were not let them. Liberia, we not let them. We were not let them. Liberia today in a very different game. Suffering like this. No food to eat. No clothes to wear. No good place to sleep. Before they were not let them. We were not let them. Liberia, we were not let them. We were not let them. Liberia, we were not let them. We were not let them. They were today. Everything like this. They were today. Everything looking like this. How we have been all of the day before we were not let them. We were not let them. People like we were not let them. We were not let them. Like we were not let them. We were not let them. Patricia, Peterman, Lopu. One day. Excuse me, my sister, when me holiday? I don't know. I say, my brother, when me holiday? I don't know. Me, I know, say you don't know. Me, I know when me holiday. I know when me holiday. Now this is the word I know holiday. I know when me holiday. That trouble is in a me holiday. I know when me holiday. That is not the jealous of me holiday. I know when me holiday. That power below that me holiday. I know when me holiday. That open way that me holiday. Me I know, say you don't know. Me I know when me holiday. That this is the word I got holiday.
Okay, thank you.
We have Honorable Fubi here on the line.
I know when me
We have our phone line from Liberia. You must be seated and make sure that you share the page. Honorable Fubi will bring us through the constitutional violations in our country. What is it that we need work on? So let me bring him on board so you can listen to Honorable Fubi.
Okay, that's one guy. Come over here, I'll call you.
Honorable Fubi.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Hello. Morning, how are you?
Good morning, Honorable Fubi. You are live on our line from the United States. Who is Honorable Fubi?
Fubi Henry. And Fubi Henry, I'm a Liberian, and my professionally, I'm an accountant. I got a bachelor's degree in accounting. I've worked for 11 years through two different companies. The Africare, as paymaster, and the last company I worked with, the Liberia Coca-Cola bottling company. I rose to the position of finance manager before, and I also did contest the election in District number 9, Monserrato County. And now I'm also into advocacy for the right things to be done, those things that I plan to do when I have been representative, since I'm not in the House of Representatives, so I'm still channeling my action through advocacy to ensure that the right things are done.
Thank you. The first question to you, why do you need war crime code and economic crime code? Why? If
you follow the TRC recommendations, and if you also know in 2003, August 18, the comprehensive peace agreement was signed in Accra, and from that agreement, our lawmaker, our guys at the time, different political parties, bulk of which consist of rebel leaders and also key warring factions and few civil society organizations, decided that they wanted a truth and reconciliation instead of war crimes code.
Okay.
So the Truth and Reconciliation Committee came up with their report, and their report now is calling also for the prosecution of war criminals and also calling for the prosecution of economic criminals. So it is only prudent that our lawmakers will listen to the call and obey the recommendations of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, because that is what they opted for. So you cannot go in for something, and when recommendations come from part of it, then you decide not to honor it. So we're asking them now to implement the TRC report, and the only way the TRC report can be implemented when it's prosecution, it has to be done in the courthouse. So the judicial system has to be functional to make it happen. So it needs to. It needs to be implemented through the courthouse. So we're asking the honorable body, our lawmakers, to establish the court, because they have the power to do so as per Article 34E. Article 34E gives them the mandate to establish subordinate courts below the Supreme Court. So we're asking them to use their constitutional duty and implement and vote in favor of the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Code, so that the TRC recommendations can be implemented.
All right. So this war crime code, other people are saying, let bygone be bygone. Why? You just talk about the war crime code. What's about the economic crime code?
So we said the same. So they are all recommendations from the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's report. They both talk about war and economic crimes, and they recommend a prosecution for those that committed those violations. So we're saying you cannot have the recommendations coming from the Truth and Reconciliation from the TRC, and we ignore them because we feel that it's not prudent. And when you read the TRC's motto, it's clear they say that there: truth, justice, and reconciliation. So there is no justice without, there is no reconciliation without justice. So as long as we don't have justice being done, reconciliation is just a flow show. That's the reason why Madam Talib for 12 years failed. And also you see people coming up with, getting into government and thinking that government is an elephant meat. They get into government, they steal money and amass wealth for themselves. At the end of the day, few persons are okay, and the rest of the citizens are still living in abject poverty, are still constrained with the daily hustle of living. We're still living on less than $1 a day. So how are we going to cope? It's by punishing economic criminals, so that people know that when you enter government, it's not about how much you're going to accumulate for yourself. It's about service to the people and doing the right thing, so that the millions of people can benefit. The issue of free healthcare, the issue of affordable healthcare, the issue of free education up to 12th grade. All of those can be achieved if we don't have people amassing wealth for themselves, because the money that can be used to go into the schoolhouses or other government social services, if they are not diverted into the pocket of one person, millions of people will benefit. But as long as they're being diverted to the pocket of few individuals, you're depriving millions of people of their just due. That's why we're saying we need a war and economic crimes court established so that these guys can be prosecuted, so that it will also send a serious, serious deterrent measure, to future corporate or future perpetrators, so that we don't see a repeat of this anytime soon in this country.
All right. There are people in our country who are in the heart of decision making. We have the current vice president of the Republic of Liberia. She is on record, and I will play the clip. She is against war crime code, and she is the president of the Senate. You have Prince Yomi Johnson, who is chair on security in the House of Senate. Those people, do you see your bill, surviving in both houses? Do you really think that this government will make war crime code their priority? Do you really think so?
Yeah, the government will make it a priority because I trust President Weah, because President Weah I consider him an advocate for war and economic crimes, and an advocate for war and economic crimes code, because if President Weah is sincere about his fight against corruption, the only way you can fight corruption is through the economic crimes code. If President Weah was sincere also in 2004 when he made a statement as UNICEF ambassador that those that brought the children into armed conflict must face the full weight of the law and must be brought to book, and they would have no place in his stuff, then he also going to push on the issue of the war crimes code. So we trust that President Weah going to give it his blessing. And as we speak, I'm right now at the grounds of the Capitol building. We just left, Senator Dallas Guerre's office. We submitted the petition to him, the copy of the petition for the Senate, and he's also expressed his own issues about the war. He's a victim of the war. He suffered many torture and brutal handling by rebels, and he also promised that he's also going to ensure that he gets on the floor on Thursday for discussion. And so we can all rest assured that there are many good guys in the House. They were also victims of the mayhem and atrocities that took place in the country. So they're not going to sit down and allow few handful of people control the millions of people. And they also know that they are there to represent their different counties and districts. They're not there to represent their colleagues. So it's not about their colleagues. It's about the interest of the Liberian people. The justice that we're seeking and the cry that we're making, it's not a cry for Phoebe Henry. It's not a cry for Franklin Winter. It's not a cry for Alex Soiree or the 10,000 questions that sound. It's a cry for the 4 million people of this country and future generation. Because if we don't set this precedent, we'll see a repeat of this in the near future. And that's going to be detrimental. Probably by that time, you and myself will not have the energy we have right now, and will not have the zeal to push the agenda that we're pushing. So right now that we have the energy, we stay in our prime. This is the best time that we're going to push it, and I think we definitely will succeed this time. We just need to keep the pressure on the government and work with our members of the House of Representatives and the House of Senate, because we believe that they can definitely make it happen, because it is within their purview to establish the code in Article 34E. So there where our argument is based on, using their constitutional duty to establish the code. Whatever the other modalities will be worked out by the executive, but for now, it is the House of Representatives and the House and the Senate that we should be focused on to ensure that it gets passed.
Phoebe, what really prompted you with the issues? I've been knowing you from District Number 9, and you have been one of the good advocates in our district. And for me to see you past few days at the ground of the Capitol building, advocating for war crime code, advocating for economic crime code, is that anything that really pushing you?
I'm being led by that inner conviction to see justice being served. Myself being a victim of the different atrocities that took place in the country. I was 4 years old. I was 4 months old when my grandfather was killed on the pole by George Bulley and Co. in the name of rampant corruption. And I also, in 1989, on December 24th, my 10th birthday was the day the war also started in Liberia. So I see it as a personal initiative for me. The fact that my birthday will begin with a war, I think that we also need to be one of the champions to make sure that we solve this problem. At that time, We never had the energy. We never had the strength to bring these guys to book. And we're saying no to the barrel of the gun. And the best way to do it in civilized environment is through the courthouse. And if we start to recount, there are many victims of the war. I was 10 years old when the war started. I sought refuge with my family at JFK. And I remember my very first day, buddy, I laid my eyes on was at JFK when the Samuel Doe death squad team went to raid JFK. And I saw pickups upon pickups load of human beings taken from JFK to the James Springfield airstrip for execution because they were guilty and manner. I also saw the first time I saw people having sex was on the side of Prince Johnson in a live sex in a little pond that they had just ring and the water was settling there, and they had a man and woman that they compared to have sex there in the open, simply because one general wanted to punish people. So those are things that never going to leave my memory. And we also went to Ghana. I remember at that age, I was always on the field with my father, picking greens and the 5-finger leaf for the family to eat. And there were a lot of times stray bullets passed over our heads. But by the mercy of God, nothing happened. None of us were hit by the stray bullet, but we were able to go to Ghana to seek refuge. And I also can recount the strenuous conditions of which we live as refugees in Ghana. Had the war not come, I would have never experienced the things I experienced in Ghana as a child growing up. And so this war had a lot of effect. And there are other people's stories that are even worse than mine. Opening pregnant women's stomach, that's not an act of war. We say the guys, they were not fighting war. What they were doing, they were on a killing spree. Raping somebody, if you on the battlefront fighting, you will not have time to take out your trouser to rape a woman in front of her husband and ask them to witness the event without saying a word, without crying. And the massacres that took place in the Lutheran church at different places, those are just unimaginable acts. And we cannot be comfortably sitting down with murderers, rapists from the war and we feel that everything is okay. Everything is not okay. We shouldn't pretend. People are still living with the trauma. And when you start to listen to people's stories personally, then you will tend to really feel the issue. So the issue of let bygone be bygone. If we can condemn rape now, then most of the time we see the rape advocates when there's only issue about somebody rape a little child. So we're all on Facebook posting. If we can condemn rape now, why are we pleased and comfortable with the rape that took place during the war? If we can condemn murderers now, they feel they will start the issue of Tyrone Brown and this other guy from the torture of the little boy in the Salmon Derby. If we can condemn those acts now, what's the difference of those that took place during the war? So we shouldn't be complacent and say now it's okay to condemn it, and what that happened during the war, let bygone be bygone. Then we not set a precedent and we setting the stage for repeat in probably 20 or 30 years from now. And that time you myself will be old guys if we still living. And we will not have the energy, we will just be at the disadvantage of the same rebels that might come up then to do these things. And then when we open our mouth to talk about them, our kids will say, you guys had your time, and you never said anything. So, oh man, shut up. Right. I don't want my kids to tell me that I should shut up.
Phoebe, why when Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was in power, all those international organizations did not come with the issues of war crime code. Don't you think it's a clear manifestation that they want to undermine this new administration by bringing the issues of war crime code?
This is not about the time, and nobody decides when somebody takes on an advocacy. And the issue about undermining, this is not about undermining the government. This will even help President Weah, because we even send a communication to him, warning him about the danger that he faces by just sitting down with murderers. We have two presidents killers in this country that are sitting in a prime position. He shouldn't be comfortable with them. George Bulley was involved in the killing of Tobo. George Bulley was involved in the killing of Kwangba that attempted to overthrow Samuel Doe. Prince Johnson killed Samuel Doe. Prince Johnson was involved in the killing of Thomas Sankara in Burkina Faso. So these are issues that our president should not be complacent with and think that he's sitting pretty. These are guys that killed presidents before with no remorse. And they're very proud to say it. So it's not in a comfortable seat sitting with these guys. We had a Damate Kone and Madam Sali that also forced Taylor into exile. So he's also not comfortable sitting down with these guys and thinking that all is well. So you have people that are in your midst that are very dangerous to the very existence that we have. So he needs to stand up now and make sure that these guys have their places, their day in court, And once they found guilty, let them be prosecuted and be taken away from civilized people, because they don't deserve to be among civilized people, because the act they carried out does not represent civilization. So President Weah is in a hot seat. So he must muster the courage to see this happen and get this guy out of, because that will even help him. Because when you do that, you will even attract better investment, not the kind of investment that you have in the country right now with these Lebanese and Indians having these sales depots around. That's not what we call investment. Because any real investors will want to invest in a country where he knows that if I invest my money here, even if there is war, the possibility of justice being served and getting some little return on my investment due to the damage of the war on massive looting is possible. You will see more investors coming in. So these are some of the positive signs of it. It will also help to relieve people of the trauma. And many of the people that voted for President Weah, they didn't all vote because they wanted food or they wanted that they want to go to school or they want better health care. They voted on the message of justice. That was one of the songs that CDC sang for 12 years until the latter days. So they voted on that basis. So you cannot run a deceptive campaign as well. You cannot run a campaign, and when you take power, you say you're going to go back on your own, and it's not timely. There is no better time than now. So we need to be able to see this, and the president needs to be able to see this as a good venture that will even help to make his government even look better, and also weed out all of these murderers from in his so that he can have a lasting and peaceful, governance for Liberian people. Well, we all love Weah. I affiliated with CDC for about 6 years before 2017 election, and we had to part ways because of certain issues that we realized, and I also manifested it at the end of the day about rigging of election during the primary. So those are things that we saw, and it happened. That's why some of us took another side. So there's no, I'm not against CDC for any reason.
I keep speaking of time. But let us look at when you had all-mail. War Crime Court went to Sierra Leone, you had all-mail present. Liberia received one of the highest all-mail troops in the war, or UN troops in the war. While UN was present on the ground, you guys and men and women did not stand up to say, oh yes, indeed, we need a war crime court now. After all-mail left our country, you have less than 3,000 manpower in the army. And then you say you want war crime court? Don't you think our people are a threat here?
No, the issue here about security is not a big issue. I can tell you for free, security is not a big issue unless we're telling ourselves that we got information that the security don't know. Let us let the security know. If we have information that Prince Johnson and all these raw criminals have arms somewhere and they will bring a conflict, let us know. And let's look at the neighboring countries: Ivory Coast, Sierra Leone, Guinea. The relationship we have with these countries and the experiences they also have with war, they're not going to allow their borders to be used for any rebel incursion. That's something that we can squarely say. So right there, security issue around the borders is secure. The next thing we look at also, right now, it's not an issue about calling for massive security. We're not asking people to go and arrest people right now. All we're saying, our lawmakers who enact the law for the establishment of the courts. Once the court is established, the mandate now is shifted from the lawmakers to the executive. So the executive now is the executive will tell us what they need to make sure that this court is functional. If security is an issue, it's just about making a request. If you need 5,000 more army to come here, we have requests, we have relationship with all of these ECOWAS nations. Even UN. UN also is pushing for the implementation. So if you tell UN that to implement the TRC report through the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Code, we need 5,000 soldiers, you can have an emergency session to make sure that those manpower are in country. But you cannot drag on and say, because we don't have this, so it shouldn't happen. So security is not a big issue for the whole issue. Our borderlands, our neighboring countries, on the very first note, will not allow war to come through their border points. For Sierra Leone, for example, you can know that for sure. Ivory Coast, you can know that for sure. Ouattara will not allow somebody to pass through. Madabio will not allow somebody to pass through. You go to Guinea also, the experiences they have, they're not going to allow people to pass through. So that's our biggest security risk. If we had a porous border point that the neighboring country with bad relationship, then we could say we stand a risk, because our coup, 1985 coup, came through the border of Sierra Leone. Our 1989 war came through the border of Ivory Coast. and the land rebel incursion came through the borders of Guinea. So with our relationship now and the measure that ECOWAS putting in place, you're not going to see that happening. So except you want to say they're going to come from in the air and start bombarding, and we wouldn't to see that. Or they're going to use the sea. We want to see that. And so the fear that we have with these guys, we can rest assured and tell all Liberians, let's not be afraid. Nothing going to happen. Those guys are not powerful as we think. Those guys are just two-legged bulldogs. All we need to do is to make sure that the code is established and let them face in the full weight of the law so that we can move on with a better country and a civilized society so that nobody will use the barrel of the guns for any reason to come and seize power in the name of liberation or rampant corruption. If you want to go for, if you want power, go through the ballot box. If you win, fair enough. If you don't win, stay in the private sector or wherever, or find a way, something to do and keep your life going. But you shouldn't use the barrel of the guns. That's our message. And we think that the War Crimes Code will send that message stronger and harder. And not the flinch talk we're having about reconciliation and let bygone be bygone. That would not send the message.
Lastly, before going to the phone line, you see, people that are in a Joawa Taylor, she is the president of the Senate. There are committees that are who determine when it should even come on the floor. Looking at our Liberian Senate, where if to even confirm someone, you got to get something. Then you're talking about prosecuting someone, family, or if not, some of these very guys that are in the House of Senate. Do you really see this? Because the president have not given any support for the War Crime Code or neither Economic Crime Code. The president have not given any public statement. The vice president, we have the vice president on record that she is totally against it. If you are listening, he is Fubi. Keep your call coming on 215-594-6133. He is Fubi Henry from District Number 9, Muscle County. They are the one advocating for the establishment of the War Crime and Economic Crime Code in our country. You saw his pictures on Front Page Africa. He has been one of the center of discussion the past few days in our media landscape. So you can keep your call coming on 215-594-6133. This is the Abraka Talk Show. Fubi, go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Kamara, just to point out, let's get it on straight. We agree with no affront to the Honorable Vice President. She's the Vice President and President of the Senate, but she's just going to be in the Senate, and she's not going to stop the implementation of this War Crimes Code, and she's not going to stop it. And for the issue of the president, you said the president has not spoken, but the president did speak on this issue when the Deputy Secretary General was here for the UN, Amina and Madam Amina, and Senator Pelele asking a question, which brought out a conversation between him and Pelele. And he said it very clearly, and this is it, that he is going to work with the Justice Ministry, he's going to work with the Peace Commission, and they're going to see how we will put an end to this whole issue and the culture of impunity. And then if Liberians want justice, he will ensure that justice is served.
We have our first caller. Caller, what is your name and where are you calling from? Welcome to the Abraka Talk Show.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Kamara. My name is Francis Do. I'm calling from Toronto.
Quickly to the issue, War Crime Code. Are you for it or against it?
Can be like increase the volume.
I think this is the right time to work economic transport to Liberia. So that people can get justice and so people can get accountability so we can get account to our people how we manage our country. The economic transport is saying as a police. Like everybody will be accountable to Liberia. So I think there's no way that nobody will say that there's no right time. This is actually the right time. And we live in a muddy world, we can't keep saying this is not the right time, this is not the right time. At least for the time, 100% right time. The generation thing, we talk about generation thing. Change is now that we need to start it to change. I think it's the right time for the economic work and in Liberia.
Thank you. We have the next one here. Caller, what is your name and where are you calling from?
Thank you, bro. My name is Momo Saki. I'm calling from Minnesota.
Quickly, Momo.
Bro, I want to say thanks to Bro Fuki Henry But maybe like we lay the basis of the issues about the war crime code.
Mm.
If the war crime code, if we want to survive the war crime code, we want it to exist. First thing we need to do, people who are at the front, we need to take politics out of the war, out of the entire pitch. Because when I say we must take politics, you know what makes CDC advocate and never who, baby?
Mm. Tell me it.
The reason maybe because CDC was too sentimental, they were only pointing finger at one person. They took politics and put it into the issues that were made they never survive the issues about the war crime code. So if we want to have a war crime code, baby, the first thing we must look at the basis. Our country, the war never just passed through. It never just came from the earth and fall down like Liberia. It passed through various countries. If you have no war crime code, first thing like Liberia, other country will get affected. Because one way or the other, people in that country contributed to the war in Liberia. Then for one aspect, you have a war crime code in Liberia. People are already in power. What I expect for we, the Liberians, to do is first thing, to propose a bill to the national legislator to make the people helpless, right? For example,
that all those that participated in a war should not be allowed to contest.
Yeah, they will not contest, and if that bill passed, everybody that in position will resign definitely because that will give, at least you make them helpless at first.
All right.
Those that have power, baby.
Thank you. We have tons of callers coming in. So let's hold you there and let's take this one and then we'll go to Fubi. Good morning. Good morning, caller.
Good morning. How are you, baby?
Good morning. Quickly to the issues, you have to put some strength in your voice.
Well, thank you. So my name is Edward Bryan, all the way from New Orleans.
Okay, quickly.
And I support the war crime court in Liberia because I think that time has been long. We have been long delayed for this war crime court. Reason why the war crime court and economic court should be established in Liberia, that is to send a strong message. The Liberian society is a civilized society. That people, like the brother said, or Fubi said, that people cannot use the barrel of the gun, in the name of corruption or deliberation. You understand what I'm saying? And that will also send a message to those who are in power, who are abusing power and authority. For an example, today if you go to Liberia and you're in the street protesting or you protest or you disagree with anything in the government, there are people who will come after you and always get away with impunity in the name of peace and reconciliation. So I think if we start sending strong message to people, especially in the economic crime area,
thank you.
Message to people that you're not going to come to power for one-bedroom apartment and leave power with full houses.
Thank you.
Very strong message and start prosecuting people and then people know that Liberian people mean business around here.
Thank you. Let's take this one. Caller, what is your name and where are you calling from? Welcome to the Abraka Talk Show.
Yeah, I'm Josh Kitsy. I'm calling from Pennsylvania State College.
For it or against it?
Well, I'm actually being favoring the war crime court, and I've called on the show before and expressed my view. Why are we saying that the war crime court is significant for the society? Look, let us be serious in like the culture of impunity in our country. Systemic, people are going scot-free. No, and the government spoke all the time saying that the war crime court is not priority. So is the government saying those people who died, the innocent that were murdered, their business is not a priority? Is that what the government is saying? We have to be very serious. To attract foreign investors, we have to take the culture of impunity very seriously. Now we have to take measure of these things.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you. Yeah, Fubi, quickly. You listen to the callers. Most of them are saying that the war crime. But why can't you introduce or help the lawmaker to be able to pass a bill that will stop those that participated in a war or participated in public offices?
For that to be done, the TRC report needs to be implemented. And the TRC report clearly states that there are lists of people, perpetrators that are clearly banned from public office for 30 years. So they are all contained in the TRC report. So we don't need to come up with new bill again to rewrite the stuff and rewrite the stuff. The TRC have laid down those things clearly. So all we're doing right now, we're telling them to implement the TRC report. When the TRC report is implemented, those that fought war and brought the war, they will not have their time in public service. So it will be automatic. Because you have to go through the court system, and the court will validate that.
Okay, we have caller here. Caller, what is your name and where are you calling from? Welcome to the Abraka Talk Show.
My name is Joshua. I'm calling from Chicago, North Dakota.
All right.
North Dakota. Quickly to the issues.
Yes, I think I'll stay with the war code, but Foreman been doing a great job. But it was a question that you asked there. The question was if these the cabinet members have to bribe the fellow cabinet members to move on with the position, with their appointments, how easy would it be for this war crime court? Because basically, they all are facilitating each other to hire each other from what the problem is in Liberia. And it's a great task for this brother for what he's doing.
Fubi, I hope you getting a question.
For him. Because basically,
the guy is coming a little bit low, so you got to speak a little bit louder.
Okay.
The last time I took the brother, I said, anything that you're doing that we need help for some of us that been out of Liberia for almost 30 some years, we can help in any form of shit because it is wrong for us Liberians not to return home and our kids not to return home, and these guys are holding higher offices, and the president basically, he said the president has spoke against it, but we want to hear it again. After his election, his inauguration, we want to hear it. He want to stand out and say, guess what, I am divided from these guys, even though it was
Yeah.
He needs to do so.
All right, thank you. Fubi, the question was, for the fact, I think you got his question, right?
No, you can rephrase it for me. I didn't get it clearly.
The brother was talking about, for the fact that lawmakers are giving pocket change before the conference, what do you think is not going to be their request before they even bring your bill? Like the question I asked you previously.
No, for the bill, rest assured the bill will be discussed on the floor. That one, you can rest assured that we're not going to induce our lawmakers or dime to get this passed. What we're going to do, we're going to use the citizens' action. That's why we're encouraging everybody. Once you support this, join the team. Come in your numbers. If 5,000, 10,000 persons come to the ground capital building, they're bound to listen to us. It's not about going to give them money. We let them already. We're paying them our taxes. We don't have to lobby with them financially.
They have others. You listen to almost all the callers. They are in support. How can they be part? How can they join the movement for them to be able to support the war crime court? Let's take this caller. Caller, what is your name and where are you calling from?
Oh, my name is Fred Sodon. I call from Des Moines, Iowa.
Are you for it or against it? You are a sedition. Are you for it or against it?
Oh, yeah. I'm a sedition, and, you know, like, in the very time, we've been having some rough time in the CDC. You know, we haven't been speaking our critical mind and say the government should do those things we spoke about in the opposition have been turned out as real sedition. They say we're not real sedition. But for me, I'm holding and folding for the World Crime Court. I've been knowing Fobi one. He's associated with the CDC. And they left because on dissatisfaction, and today people are also classified in the same way as not real sedition because we're speaking on what we knew and we wanted, and it's not happening now. So we're not real sedition. But however, we still keep pushing that the right thing should happen. For me, I'm 100% in support of the World Economic Crime Court, and I keep pushing for that, and we hope it shall come to pass one day.
Thank you. Keep your call coming on 215-594-6133. This is the Abraka Talk Show. I am sitting here, Mzee Abraham K. Kamara, and our guest this morning is Honorable Fubi. Honorable Fubi, yeah, now listen to you. You talk about constitutional violation. That those who invaded Liberia, those who brought war, it is treasonable. I heard you making that statement.
Yeah, you know, it's an act of treason. Article 76A tells you all of those things that ain't consist of a treason to the state. And one of them is bringing war on a country. And the fact that they all supported the war, it means that they committed an act of treason. And people say, oh, the Constitution was violated. We say no. The Constitution was never violated for any reason.
Was the Constitution was
took
never
advantage.
Suspended?
I mean, it was never suspended. They just abused the Constitution. The fact that your father leaves the house and you guys and let the children in the house, the father not there, the mother not there, and all of you just decide to turn the house upside down, you host a party and you damage the dishes and spoil the food. When your father comes, he will not say, okay, because I'm not here, so there was no law and order. He will punish you for the damage done in the house. So the Constitution was never suspended. People just took advantage and misuse power because they had guns in their hands. So levying war against the Republic is an act of treason. Aligning oneself or aiding and abetting another nation or people with whom Liberia is at war or a state of war is an act of treason. Attempting by overt to overthrow the government, rebellions against the Republic, insurrection and mutiny. These are all acts of treason. So those are things that they carried out. So we can't sit down and pretend and say nothing happened. They carry out the act of treason and they got to face the full weight of it. So we even highlighted those things in the petition.
But Fubi, if you are charging them for treason and for bringing war, are you also looking into where those weapons came from and who gave this weapon? Because a young man from Nimba County, like from my county, never have an idea where to even get one bullet from. So are you also looking into the issues where bullets came from and where those arms and ammunition came from? Are you looking at those who also facilitated?
No, my interest is not about where they got their bullets from, where they got their ammunition from, where they got their money from. It's like you to your house and you go play with your friend in the other yard and they give you fire and say go left fire in your power bedroom. And you take the fire and the gas and the bucket, you go in your father's bedroom and put fire there. Who you expect your father to hold? Your father gonna hold you. When your father hold you, then you on the obligation to say where you got your fire and gas from. So I'm not interested in where they got their support from. We're interested in sending them to court. When they go to court, they will explain how and where they got their support from. That's their own that's their cup of tea. That's not my cup of tea. The same thing. Sierra Leone had an issue. Sierra Leone was being persecuted. They pointed out Chancellor. When they pointed out Chancellor, they called Chancellor in. And today he's jailed for 50 years because of what he did in Sierra Leone. Because the Sierra Leoneans knew him in their crisis. So when we drag them to court, they will name where their support came from. So that's not my headache. Our team, we're not worried about those things. We just pushing our lawmakers to establish the court. And once that is done, when we drag them to the court, they will explain the details about how and where and all those things. That will be their own confession.
All right. So, now take a few music, and we want to show the clip where the vice president said that she is totally against the establishment of the war crime code. So we will bring a clip here, and we ask you guys to watch it and also tell us how you feel about it. Fubit will take break. If you want to call back, that's fine. But we taking a break and then we come back with your closing comment.
Okay. Your break will be for 5 minutes?
Yeah, 5 minutes.
Okay, I'll come back in 5 minutes. Okay.
The impact of the war on Sierra Leoneans, when you look at the level of harm that was done to civilians, the cutting off of the arms and legs of civilians, it's a very sad thing. And as First Lady, I want to say that I still don't see the connection of how he could be held responsible for those things done in Sierra Leone when they were actually done by Sierra Leonean armed forces. I'm sorry that things happened the way they did in Sierra Leone, but it's hard to responsible for rape in Liberia and someone gets raped in Sierra Leone. And these are some of the issues, rape and torture, that he was not personally involved with. As a lay person sitting outside and watching the trial, I didn't see that clear indication without a reasonable doubt that this person was involved. I don't think he should be held responsible for problems in Sierra Leone. However, if you talk about the crisis in Liberia, for which he was head of, then that's a different story. Our country has gone through a very difficult process. There is still much left.
Hello?
Yeah, please.
Hello?
Our country is still not reconciled. I do not think a war crimes code for Liberia will be the best thing.
Well, you listen to Fubi, and you also listen to the vice president when she said that she would be against the war crime code. Look to this caller right here. Caller, what is your name and where are you calling from? Welcome to the Abraka Talk Show.
Yeah, good morning, brother. This is Prince Meadow calling from Maryland.
Prince, quickly to the issue. War crime code. Are you for it or against it?
I'm for the war crime code because if we can remember when our president term before coming into power and have a saying a silicon like power for the people. So I think it's now for us to apply the power since we said the power for the people is now we gotta apply the power, and when the people say anything you gotta listen to them because I think the war crime code in Liberia going there is not a bad thing. Because we have a lot of things and we'll have a lot of issues in Liberia. When the war crime code established in Liberia, I think that would be good for us. Nobody will just run into the country and do what they wanted to do or what in their mind to do. I think it would be better.
Okay. So, thank you. Look to this one here. You are live on the Abraka Talk Show this morning. We had Henry Fubi Henry, who was also here. So quickly to the issues of the war crime code.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. I think a lot of Liberians are getting present to the fact that our country and the people of our...
Yeah, Fubi, quickly.
Yeah.
So what's your party comment? Yeah. Make everything
together.
Okay,
yeah. I think you asked a question on how people can be part of the process or support the process.
Yeah,
okay, if you're not in Liberia, we urge you to also call your family members here locally to tell them to be part of the May 22nd Black Rally Phase 2 for the follow-up. They can come at the Capitol building at full black attire so that they be part of it. And also, you can also contribute through our GoFundMe link. I will, after the call, I will post it on the talk show link there so that they can also follow it. And if you have personal interest in supporting,
quickly.
If you have personal interest in supporting, then you can also donate through the link.
Okay. So where you guys are, what the Liberians in the diaspora, because I can tell you for a fact, the Liberians in the diaspora are very one days. And including, they have been impressed, and that's the reason why we thought it was to bring you guys on board. They have been impressed. How can one, being able to contact you and for you guys to be able to discuss so they can be, because there are a lot of Liberians here who have the expertise on how they can make this thing work and for you to also get international help.
Okay, yeah, my personal contact is +231 776 331 617. You can contact me directly on that, and you also hit me up on Facebook or WhatsApp.
Your parting comment, Chief.
Thanks for the platform, and let's push for justice. The issue of time should not be our problem, because justice delayed, justice denied. As we delay, these guys, there's no guarantee that all of them are going to live for the next 20 or 15 years. There's no guarantee that after this call we'll all be alive. So we shouldn't be talking about time. The time is always now. Wherever we have the moment, let's seize the moment and take advantage of it. So War Crimes Code and Economic Crimes Code, these are priorities for Liberia, and we shouldn't say government has too many priorities. That's why government has several functionaries, and all of them are working at the same time. The justice sector is working, the health sector is working, educational sector working, the public works working. So all of them work to complement each other. So we shouldn't say there's too much priority, so let's forget about this one. It's not important. Everything is important. That's why you have different ministries to handle different activities. So it will not stop the developmental agenda of this country. So let's push and let's make it happen, and let's put the end to infinity now.
Thank you, Fubi. We'll be taking another break, and that person will be Franklin Wisse. Thank you, Fubi.
Okay,
we
thank
appreciate your time.
Liberia today in a very suffering days, no food to eat, no clothes to wear, no good place to sleep. Before they were not let go, we were not let go. Liberians were not let go. We were not let go. Liberians were not let go. We were not let go. They were today, everything holidays. They were today, everything looking like this. How we have been all of the day before we were not let go. We were not let go. Liberians were not let go. We were not let go. Liberians were not let go. We were not let go. Patricia, Peterman, Lobu.
Look at this caller right here. Caller, what is your name and where are you calling from? Welcome to the Abraka Talk Show.
Thank you, sir. My name is Wendell Moore. I'm calling from Columbus, Ohio.
Quickly to the issue. Are you for it or against it?
I'm for the war crime and economic crime code in Liberia, because too long our people have suffered and other people have gone with impunity. And I'm reading something on the social media that if there can be a war crime code and economic crime code, there's going to be a sanction. So we all must stand up for a war crime code in Liberia. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Keep your call coming now on 215-594-6133. This is the Abraka Talk Show. We're coming to you live from the state of Pennsylvania, the city of brotherly love. Keep your call coming now or forever hold your peace. Like we said, for us, we are not here to tell who or when should the war crime code be established. We are here for everyone to have their fair days in court. And that is the best thing that we can ever do. So
We were not let go. We were not let go. Liberia were not let go.
Hello?
Honorable Franklin Wisse on the line. Honorable Wisse, you are live on the Abraka Talk Show. Quickly, why are you guys advocating for the War Crime Code?
Okay, thank you very much. Firstly, it has to be established that the call for the War Crimes Court, it is a way of ending impunity and ushering in justice. We feel that so much of our country resources was exhausted in ensuring that people who perpetrated mayhem and atrocities account for their deeds. And people who committed economic crimes will also account for their deeds. So we resolved to having the Truth and Reconciliation Committee. And the committee came up with recommendations. A few people who were indicted by the committee's recommendations and who felt that they were at the echelon of power, the strangulated suppressed the TRC recommendations and placed it under the carpet. So we have who took advantage of the Liberian civil to perpetrate mayhem and atrocities, masquerading in impunity. We have people who committed economic crimes and are still raking the economy of the state, thereby depriving the ordinary masses of their just benefits, going with impunity. So we feel that the War and Economic Crimes Court will be a special court, a neutral body that will dispense justice without fear or favor. Hence our reason for calling for the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court in Liberia.
What now? When Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was in power, you guys never advocated for this. What now?
Oh yes, it is now, because it is just about now. Nothing happens by chance. Anything that happens at the point in time it should happen. First of all, you had a president who was indicted by the TRC. She didn't have the political will to execute the recommendations of the TRC. We now have a president whose hands are clean. He's without stigma. He's got no hand in bloodletting. He's got no hands in the economic crimes. We feel he has or should exhibit the political will to execute the TRC recommendations or agree with us in requesting the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court in Liberia.
Are you falling into this with your whole sweat and blood? Were you directly in any form and manner affected by this civil war?
Oh, sure. Abraham, you've known me for some time, and I have been somebody who will go for anything and go with everything I've got. I'm into this with my sweat, blood, and soul. I feel that for too long have we been raiding. For too long have we been used, screwed, and dumped. For too long have people capitalized on our culture of silence. For too long have we been consumed in this culture of letting the sleeping dog lie. So I think the governors of the state, who are our employees, have raiding on our leniency and the silence to continue to perpetrate evil against the people. So no government is safe without the well wishes of the government. We, the government, are the employers of the governors. They are our employees, and they are
Hello. Hello.
Accountable to us. It's inherent. If you notice, go
ahead.
Just in the month of April, there were 8 cases of murder. Why do you think? Just in the month of April this year, there were 8 cases of murder. Why do you think people will muster the courage out of just mere misunderstanding to take the life of the other? It is because people feel that at the end of the day, they will just spend a few days in South Beach and they are out again. So we're saying that this culture of impunity must come to an end. You have a situation where public officials have squandered government resources and they are going with impunity. All of this, I mean, we claim to be the oldest republic. We've got nothing to show. Our country is still lacking behind. Our people are languishing out of poverty because a handful of people are taking on to themselves so much that could transform the life of the ordinary people. These and many more, are reasons why we are standing up, we from the conscious background, to make a case that our people will buy, a case that our people will support. And I can tell you that the call for the establishment of War and Economic Crimes Court has become a daily song, has become a national anthem throughout the length and breadth of Liberia. It has been discussed and it has been welcomed by a lot of our people. We are serious, dead serious about this. Impunity must come to an end.
Quickly, your parting comment before we open our phone line. Keep your call coming.
Thank you.
He is Franklin Wizard. I don't know whether he's still the president for CO or if not the heir.
No, Chairman Emeritus. Chairman Emeritus.
The former Chairman Emeritus of CO. So you can keep your call coming. We'll take 2 calls, and that's it. We call it a day. We wish you guys all of the best in making sure that fighting for the establishment of the World Cup. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Taylor, welcome to the Abraka Talk Show. Where are you from?
Thank you, Ambassador Ibrahim K. Kamara II. Thank you for the opportunity to have me online. I thought that Fubi would have been listening to make my contribution, but realistically, just quickly to the issue, the decision to have the establishment of the World Economic Crime Code, I think it's welcoming, though we are from the peace background, but I think it's too much impunity has been caused and atrocity. These guys need to come to a point where they can be investigated, and if found guilty, go through the penalty that will be stipulated in the TRC. More besides, the reason why I say this, I'm not saying it from the background that I was being victimized, almost to be victimized to lose my life in Bon County during the 1992 Civil War between the NPFL and that of the UNIMOK. Because we know my name is Taylor. That name Taylor, during that time, has some level of stigmatization. And I deliberately refused at one of the checkpoints where you have the guy from the door end where kind of fetching out the people called Taylor. So the only thing that saved me is because I could not speak the Pede and I could speak Gola. So I just talked to say that how victimized I was. I saw people who was being chopped, who were being cut into pieces just before my own naked eyes. And when I got to the point of the checkpoint to be asked, I was asked, where is your name? From Bon County, around Bon County, around Todotan, Bon County there. And the guy did a check on and asked, where's your name? What is your name? I said, my name is Momo Taylor. Momo Taylor, you Taylor, oh, from the Taylor, put in one side. Those guys took me that on one side. The only thing that blessed me is I told them that I could not speak better because they claimed that most of the people who speak better were people from Child Taylor end. And in fact, I said, no, my name is Momo Taylor. I'm a good boy from Bombing County. I did not tell them that I had linkages with Child Taylor. No, I felt very, very much frustrated, and I saw the way people were humiliated and devastated. So the establishment of the code will bring some level of freedom and will restore sanity in the hearts and minds of our people. I think the trajectory taken by Fubi Everham and a few other colleagues and guys from Liberia is a trajectory that should be welcoming and well supported. And all of us from the diaspora and all over the world, Liberians, should look forward towards having a new regime, a transformation that this government, who claim to preach poor government policy, must look in the direction of transforming our country to make sure that this thing is established. Eddie is victim, let you feel the penalty. If anybody who was even the vice president.
But let me woo you there.
Yeah.
The president, prior to the election, the president said he will elect. He will protect Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Don't you think it is that protection that is currently going on up to now that this government has refused to audit her predecessor? Up to now they have refused. Nokal, you worked at Nokal before. You know what went on over there. The country resources was some phone.
You see, Kamara, that's one of the things. I sometimes hate to hear, even if I work at Nokal, I can feel victimized. I can feel very hurt, frustrated to the extent that if I open my mouth to say some of the things that we saw, eye to eye at Nokal, you feel very frustrated. It was a point in time we don't have one JOC meeting at Nokal. The guy called Raul Seri will walk to Christopher Neal by then will say, Christopher Neal, I need 2.5 million. I need this. I need to go build OSA. I need to do some other program and pro bono work. I mean, on numerous occasions, Christopher Neal be a very good humanitarian, a very fascinating guy. We always visit him. We always say these things know that Labrenpo money, the Labrenpo money must be used for its intended purpose and what have you. So some of the atrocities called is Noka today that makes more how to change our career from petroleum geophysicist. Now I'm forced to do something in mechanical just to be able to balance the equation because other than Noka, I couldn't get any employment outside Noka in Liberia. Either I go international or I go to work with ExxonMobil. That's how frustrated I am. And the things we know about Noka, I'm waiting for the day where you come and host me. And let me vet out some of the realistic things.
But you know you are our guest on Friday. You will be there.
Certainly, I'll be prepared. I'll be holistic, prepared from all indication, all angle to tell you my heart, my thought, and mind, and feeling the way we felt frustrated of the local action. And some of the guys who are still there, who were serious cause, who caused serious atrocity and chaos to the development of the oil and gas sector. My brother, when it comes to oil and gas, we are not saying we are more than qualified, but we understand the intricacies, the foundational aspect from beneath the surface up to the point where you can have it served to your home in real places. So the issue of the establishment of the code, it must be done. The president must see it, whether he protect the president or not. His duty is he claims to preach proper government policy to make sure that Liberian people live above $1 per day. That must be one of the things he should preach. That people who cause atrocity, people who kill, who cut people's hands, who for no reason, land up people and kill them freely, must be placed beyond bar if found guilty. They must go through the penalty and through the laws. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you. Momo Taylor will be our guest. He will be our guest on Friday. Me and Emmanuel and I will be well seated to us in our mechanical engineer. A few days from now, or if not, the brother is already a doctor. He phoned us this morning from Japan.
People like the river, no let it. We were not let it, oh, like the river, no let it. We were not let it. Before, yeah, like Liberia, yeah, people use so far. And by that is very, very cheap. Liberia used to be sweet like Liberia. Oh, no, today.
Caller, what is the name and where are you phoning us from?
Calling from North Dakota. My name is Christopher Jacob. I'm one of your customers for you.
Quickly to the issues.
Get out of point on that brother that was just speaking.
As
I said, we are doing the election time. All the social media people are on the program just giving more statement that our person that can testify to it. His son, Yabo City. When I was in New York, I took one of my friends to go buy a car in New Jersey. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, quickly.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, shout out another point for that brother that just called. I personally, I'm not saying to say, Yabo City, all the money that he stole, that his mom helped him restore and they buying BB car. We in America will not go by Liberia because of the fear. But we make sure it's not a threat. We make sure that the American government will help us wherever they will come in the country. If they think nobody can catch them, nobody can catch them, we make sure we'll catch them. We are living in the country. I'm speaking not a threat to them because sometimes other people feel weak and other things. I personally know where one of his car is. I say so. My name is Christopher Jacob. In New Jersey, 1 and 9, they got an auction over there. A G Welcome. It's $100 and some more $1,000. How I managed to know that was his car when I went in there to go buy the car with my boss? They asked, "Are you Liberian?" I said, "Yes." I never knew that he was handling no car during that time. When he took money from the buy $150,000 car cash that he was not keeping in a whole time, he brought it in Jersey to a friend of his. To pull it from their auction to attract customer. During the election time, brother sent statement up. And up to now, that car, send our brother statement up. We went by there, we didn't find that car because they knew that was a car for them. So let me tell you, they will be brought to justice. If they run away, they think they got contact with somebody in America. No, it will be different for them. Trust me, so that my own message I got for them.
Thank you, Chief. That's how we come to the very, very end of this show this morning. I have been your lead host, say Abraham K. Kamara.
We were not let it.
It's a son of Nima Kante. Some people think that when we sit here, we will not advocate for the War Crime Code. Let me give you my positions on it this morning. I am for the War Crime Code. I'm from Nimba. I am a son of a lion, a Madingo by tribes. So myself and my household, we are also in support of the War Crime Code. Our properties and life were destroyed in Nimba Kante in the name of peace, in the name of liberation. So we ourselves, thank God for the United States. We are here today advocating for the War Crime Code. People like Prince Johnson, the Taylor, the Ellen Johnson Salih, the Amra Connor, the Seku Damatet Connor, the Thomas Yaya Nimle, the K1. They themselves need to go to the War Crime Court as well. I mean K1 himself. The one who took people's life, if to say he was the one that gave life to him. All of them need to give account of their role play in our country. And to start with that means we should also urge in the TRC report so we can have new breeds of leaders. Liberia is too small for us to be killing each other.
Excuse me, my sister, when me holiday. I don't know. I say my brother, when me holiday.
Momo Taylor will be our guest on Friday, 7:20 Eastern Time.
I know when me holiday.
That will be 11:20 Liberian time.
Now this is the one I know.
I mean 7:20 a.m.
I know when me holiday.
That will also be 11:20 a.m. Liberia time.
I know when me holiday. That is not the jealous of me holiday.
We say sorry for those who we hurt. We would love for you to criticize because it is by your criticisms we can be good. We are not journalists. I don't even intend to be one. I am not also a seditious, and I am not prepared to be one. We are just a mere talk show host, but trust me, we do it better than even some of them that even have bachelor degree in this. By profession, some of us are sociologists. And very soon I will be getting my master's in public policies as well. That's how we go home. I catch you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same network. Go down below. On our page, like our page, so anytime we have fascinating news, you will get an alert. Bye-bye from my end for now.